On this beautiful stage, in this beautiful stadium, the Sputnik Arena in Katowice, dreams are made and dreams are shattered. Zest is one game away from his dream coming true. And Trap has to win the next 3 games. A tall order for the IEM Protoss.
And if he doesn't do it, all hope is lost, and his dream, his chance to be that winner, that champion on the biggest stage is gone. It is so brutal being up on the biggest stage in front of the biggest audience that we have in esports. It means everything for these players to play here today. And now it comes down to crunch time as we get closer and closer to crowning the world champion of the Interextreme Masters in StarCraft 2. And if you've had a favorite player throughout the weekend that you've been watching on day 1, day 2, day 3, or even now, if you want to see an MVP player, please go to facebook.com/IEM and vote for your MVP.
Who's your MVP, Apollo?
You are, Maynard, but you're not in the poll, so I would have to choose, for me, Zest, because Zest is going to win this championship. He's up 3 games to 1, and it is going to take a hell of a lot for Trap to pull him back. And I think there's only one way, and that way is forward for Zest. But let's find out. Can Trap do it? Can he make the comeback possible? Otherwise, it's going to be a 4-1 victory.
Indeed, the fellow on the right is 3 games up. 1 more. This is match point for Zest. And this guy is going to need to show us if he can fight back. In the top right here on Expedition Lust, make some noise for IEM Trap. And in the bottom left, he's looked so powerful. If you want this guy to be your world champion, this is KT Rolster's Zest. Woo! Is Zest best, Apollo?
It's looking like it if I'm gonna have a look at that scoreboard up there. 3 games to 1. And now this really, really puts the pressure onto Trap. 1 misclick, it's over. 1 mistake, it's over. 1 wrong decision. This is huge. He has got to put all his willpower into just powering forward to fight against Zest, but he's got to do it 3 times in a row.
It's a very, very big ask for this very young player. Brand new to playing on a giant stage. I mean, I haven't even been in the same country as a stage this big, Apollo. This is incredible. This atmosphere is sick. The games have been great. Tournament's been great. And the championship is starting to close here for StarCraft 2. But the action is not over yet.
And it's been a long season. In season 9 here at the Interextreme Masters, starting all the way in Shenzhen, Toronto, San Jose, Taipei, and now here to crown the champion. But let's take a look at these 2 builds. Very similar once again. They're both going to take their double assimilators very early on to bring that gas in. And you've got the gateway, you've got your cybernetics core pushing your tech. And from this point on, you get to choose. Do you want to go second gateway, as we've seen a lot, to go for the units to push out, to take map control, to feel out your opponent, to get some scouting information? Or do you want to dedicate to a tech choice early on?
And 2 gateway is going to be the choice here for Zest. He's been opting for that in this series. It's been pretty good for him to hold that early pressure from Trap.
Whereas Trap has decided to go for a probe scout and is only working off a single gateway. He's going to go and move in, and he's going to get full information on his opponent. He's going to move around the probe line and say, okay, there's 1, there's 2 gateways, great. Now let me back off and make my move. What is that move going to be? Does he want to try and take a fast expansion? Does he want to try Stargate players we've seen already? Does he want to try a Twilight Council for maybe Dark Templar, for Blink?
He has to make the choice, and this choice could mean tens of thousands of dollars for Trap. It really is that simple. And the choice for Zest is going to be Twilight Council with these 2 gateways, and Trap's going to go for a Sentry.
So Sentry is a very expensive unit for gas. It's 100 gas, which is almost as expensive as a tech structure. So it's more likely here that he's just going to throw down an expansion, but he's moving out in the middle of the map a little bit. He's hoping that he could catch a unit or 2 if possible, but he's got to be careful. He's going to find the mothership core, but there's a Stalker of Zests here too.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh, he's gonna take some damage. Shields are gonna go down, but no real hit points, luckily.
Doesn't take hull damage. It's one mothership core. It's kind of zoning Zest out a little bit.
Yeah. So we have the expansion being played, and Zest is gonna scout it with his mothership core. He's gonna swing around. Stalker's there, but Zest is gonna poke. He has a feeling that his opponent has expanded early, because why has he only got one Stalker? He pokes in, he sees, he knows.
Yeah. This mothership core takes a bit of paint damage, but it's no big deal there. Does get a job done. Sees an early Nexus. And Zest going for Blink.
Yes, he is, and he's not canceling it this time. His previous reaction to this very scenario, cancel the upgrade, get my own Nexus, and then move to the middle part of the game. But no, he is gonna go for more and more units.
Oh my God.
He is gonna challenge this Nexus, and he says, if you want to go to another game, you best defend this.
And the sentry's going to be paramount here for stopping the Stalkers getting up, but they do have that Blink very, very shortly. It's only halfway done.
And at the worst time, Trap is pylon blocked. He can't build any units. This is terrible for Trap to miss a pylon. He loses a sentry, and already the pressure is on.
It is indeed. Only 2 sentries, one with minimal energy here for Trap. And these 4 Stalkers are completely unanswered here as they keep tapping away on this Nexus.
And now there's going to be a lot more Stalkers making their way. Photon Overcharge must be used here. He needs to buy himself time to get the Immortal out that maybe he can push his back. This is very important. If he loses his Nexus, he's in trouble.
Losing a Stalker there for free. The Photon Overcharge is delaying Zest for now, but not for long. He comes in with his Stalkers. Blink is about to finish.
5 seconds on that Blink and he can start jumping backwards. He saves that Stalker. And what we may see, he may even jump on that single Immortal.
He may, if a Blink forward,
he's gonna do it!
He targets down the Immortal, the big scary Immortal is down, and with a superior Stalker count, down goes the Mothership Core, down goes the units of Trap, and he is in so much trouble. Zest is pressing the issue here with these Blink Stalkers.
He moves back, he warps in another round. He's just killed off the Mothership Core, he's picked off the strong Immortal, and he's gonna go again. The Nexus is gonna fall, and this is a massive move for Zest. But he's not content with just a Nexus kill. He wants to win!
GG! Your world champion is KT Rolster Zest. Zest is best. Got the job done.
And just like that, it was over. Zest is the Intel Extreme Masters 2015 StarCraft 2 World Champion.
What an incredible win for KT Rolster Zest! A brilliant moment from a man who fell from grace just months ago and returning back to glory. Guys, what do we think about what just happened? 5 great games. I mean, PvP, let's be honest, it's not the most exciting matchups all the time, but this series definitely delivered, Rotterdam.
I couldn't agree more, Dan. I think the first 4 games were absolutely amazing. Even the game that Trap won, I think, was an almost legendary game, because some of the things, we're sitting here, we play this matchup all the time, and like, these decisions, they almost don't make sense, and then you see it being played out. I think it was awesome, but I think overall, the better player, or definitely the player that was more determined to win, has won. Zest was just more decisive in his games, and he made a couple of very, very, very smart decisions that I've rarely seen before, and I love this matchup, and I watch it all the time.
Determined and decisive. He went into this and had a plan, and it was Zest that game in, game out, had an idea of what he wanted to do, and was just doing it. Even sometimes almost erroneously. Like I think back to the Tempest game, he went a little bit too far forward, but then he capitalized on Trap's mistakes, and that's been the series. He was able to do that. And what a great series it was too, by the way. It was only really that last game that was kind of one-sided. That Blink Stalker timing attack, of course, overwhelming Trap, but otherwise, very close. Despite the score being 4-1, it felt like it felt a lot closer than that.
Yeah.
Right. Todd, did any games specifically stand out to you as the one to point at?
Yeah, I think the Catalina game, kind of like Kev said, was probably the best one. You know, a bit of an overextension here and there, and at first it looked really scary for Zest for a moment, but in the end, I guess he pulled too far ahead to throw away that one or to lose it, and yeah, just great play from him. Whereas for Trap, maybe a little bit disappointing because a lot more indecisive than we've seen him the entire tournament, and in the end, I think that's what cost him the finals here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that means Trap's run does end here, and Zest is the one who does win $68,000 and 1,500 WCS points. Snoot, give me some thoughts overall on, like, where does Zest fall now? He won IEM World Championship Season 9. Do you think he's back up there with the best Protoss in the world, or is it just his ascend back to normalcy here?
Well, it's very difficult to say, but I would say he definitely showed the form that we saw at Toronto here. This was at the Zest that we know and love with solid macro. It's not the Zest that we saw on the first day. This was a completely different Zest, a very determined and very solid Zest, and that's why he was able to win. We didn't see the same type of decisiveness and quality of play from Trap as we saw earlier on. I feel like maybe this was not Trap's best day, but Zest definitely didn't have the same type of slip-ups that we saw in some of his earlier series. He just played amazingly today.
A convincing win. 4-1 is the score that Zest lost to his teammate Flash back in IEM Toronto, and of course he wins 4-1 here against Trap. Jeff, did you have any thoughts overall on the series as well?
Well, yeah, I kind of like, you know, on that point about what kind of Zest are we seeing now. Well, this is a Zest that, you know, we talk so much about WCS points. There's a really good chance he will be at the WCS World Championship at the end of the year in November as well. And that means this is the beginning of the year as well. Going into further tournaments, he's got the confidence. He got the big win. Yes, he was on a downward slope, but now he's winning, and he's getting this medal, getting a giant check, the WCS points. If Zest ever needed a kick in the butt, some win in the sales, this is it, man. He just won a world championship.
Yeah. Being medaled also by the president of Katowice, Marty Krupa. What an honor to just be here in front of the entire Polish crowd and being able to win on a stage like this, and again, reclaim the glory that he once knew not too long ago. Again, it was 6 months that, you know, Zest was still dominating the case, and now he's back on top. Kevin, what do you think? Is Zest back?
Oh, Zest is so back, Dan. Zest is so back. He played like a champion today. He really did. Like you said, it's only 4 or 5 months ago that we were going into BlizzCon, the biggest tournament back then of 2014, and we're like, nobody wanted to play Zest. In the end, Live played Zest in the first round, and Zest won, or Live won. And Live actually won the entire tournament. But since then, you know, we haven't seen the same Zest, and going into this tournament, not a whole lot of people even picked Zest to go past the quarterfinals, but you know, he truly grew in the tournament, and that's something we don't see very often in StarCraft 2 players. Like, I almost have a very old deja vu into Creo when he won WCG, where you could see him getting better every single day. I really felt that this was almost the case with Zest. Day 1 and day 4 Zest, you can't even compare them. He played like a champ today.
Absolutely, and of course the journey through Zest, he had to beat Hydra, Innovation, Pyong, and Trap, and also Analytics. People thought Trap may have been able to do it based off those Oligalock predictions, but Zest is the one who proves the numbers wrong today.
I love that point, actually, because he was actually kind of an underdog the entire time. Every time we commentated, we're like, okay, this is the guy that's going to do it. I guess, like, he was the least underdog against Pyong, but it was Innovation. It was Hydra. Every time the match came up, we were like, you're super dead, Zest. You're not going to do this. And he just kept on winning. And then at the end, he wins, and he even beats the odds, actually, is what happened. I mean, a legal act is based on percentages and numbers. You know, it's nothing magical or something like that. So in the end, I love that he overcame all that. And again, he's launching into the year with this win. I hope it really pushes him.
All right, Todd, wrap us up here. What are some of the final takeaway points here for this PvP series?
I perfectly agree with what Jeff said. You know, Trap is not one of the main Protoss names that you would think of when you think of best Protoss players, but I feel after the run that he's had here, if you're a Protoss player like me, you're definitely going to want to pay a lot of attention to all of these guys' next games, because he had some insane builds, some insane adaptation, and maybe except here in the finals where he struggled a little bit more, but it happens, and I'm sure he will be back stronger.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for us here at the Intel Extreme Masters for StarCraft 2 World Championship Season 9. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure to catch all of the recap with the Score Esports app down low on the Twitch links on the channel. Make sure, of course, to check out all of our sponsors too at HyperX, BenQ, Gigabyte, Brocat, and of course, Blizzard. And big thank you to Intel for making this happen so much. We'll see you guys next time for more StarCraft 2 action. Until then, enjoy the League of Legends World Championships for Season 9 with Team Solo Mid versus World Elite.